Have you ever had the feeling that everything you thought you knew is a lie? Well, more and more of us are coming to that realization. And they actually have a term for this. It's called conventional wisdom. And that is where most of us believe something that's true and it's not. And the reason why this happens, the reason why we have conventional wisdom, is because it has been contrived, meaning that it has been paid for by that very small group of people who have an economic advantage over us, because they're printing our money and using that surplus of money they have to own and control everything, to bombard our brains with bullshit. But more and more of us are waking up to this fact that we have this conventional wisdom. And we're learning that things are not quite what they seem to be. Life is an illusion on this planet on so many levels. On so many levels. But we're waking up to that fact. We know we can't trust history. We know we can't trust our experts, so-called experts, especially in all those areas related to health or anything that's supposed to solve our problems. That would include philosophy and religion and logic. And why is that? It's because sickness begets sickness. We're a sick species. And the sickest of us all want it to stay that way. They rely on us being sick and they guarantee that we'll stay sick. It's a frightening concept to think about, that people would even want to do that. And the reason why they're able to get away with it is because no one else thinks like them. And remember, they are a reflection of us. A reflection of us. And that means that we can do something about it if we change collectively. Which is, of course, is the whole part or point of my YouTube channel. We have to recognize we are the enemy. We're doing it to ourselves on every level. We're doing it individually to ourselves. And then the worst of us, the sickest of us are keeping us where we are. So we are the enemy. The worst of us is the worst enemy we got, because they don't want things to change. But that could all change very easily if we could just realize that we are the heroes by definition. You know the definition by now if you've watched enough of my videos. If you're new, it's a simple definition. A hero is a person who can solve a problem or problems that no one else can solve. Well, no one else can solve your problems if you're the one creating it. You've got to realize that it is within your control. We've been told, no, it's not what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. It's not true. I remember a while back, I made a list of all of my beliefs that were the exact opposite than what they were before, and I came up with over 50 of them. That's the biggest problem that we have. Trying to find the knowledge we need. Get that darn false knowledge in its place. Now most of us are doing things we think are okay and they're not okay. And we're in complete denial about us doing them and that they have the ramifications they do. Most people just have never really thought about the first cause. And then the ripple effect that comes from that first cause. And how that if that first cause didn't happen, then this couldn't happen, this couldn't happen, and this couldn't happen. It takes a lot of contemplation to work this out and to punch all the holes in it to see, well, could this really be the solution? I've done that. I spent countless hours trying to punch holes in everything. It's real easy to punch holes with what most people are thinking and doing because of that damn conventional wisdom. There's a small group of people who know all they have to do to control us is to control what we think, control what we know. That's why they go out of their way and buy up the media and the entertainment industry. That's why they get into the politics and finance both sides of the parties. That's why they're on the board of directors of all the universities. There's a interconnecting directorate. They did these young men out in Sweden, I believe it was. They came up with a program that was able to trace back where all the money went. And it turned out there's a small group of people on this board of directors that's controlling every major sector of human endeavor. So they can brainwash us and fill us with this conventional wisdom. Where when we look at the truth, when we get on the road to truth, we laugh at it saying, this can't be true. I've got too many references that say otherwise. Sad thing is, most of those references, you weren't even trying to put them in there. They're snuck in all the time. Every time you turn on the TV, I don't know how many times a day we're being bombarded with lies, put in certain beliefs to make us continue to think certain things are the way they are. My gosh, the average person still thinks sunshine causes skin cancer. And now is probably laughing at me thinking, what an idiot. What else could cause it? It's obvious. It's the sun. Really? Tell me then, why is it that half the melanomas occur on places where the sun don't shine? Yeah, the system we have in charge now is pretty clueless about everything. And that's by design. Those guys that are bombarding our brains with bullshit are doing the same thing to our experts, bombarding their brains with bullshit too. Again, life is an illusion on just about every level we can imagine. But more and more of us are realizing this. More and more of us are realizing that pretty much everything we thought was true is a lie. Pretty much everything. Science, history, medicine, nutrition, you name it, banking, justice, everything. Everything's backwards. But the fact that we're waking up to this is exciting as long as we know what to do. It's easy to get distracted even in something like this. And this is what happens to most people who find this piece of the puzzle. They think, well, the solution is just let's tell everybody we've got a fox guard in the hen house. That's not the solution. The solution is that we play a role when it comes to dealing with this dark aspect of us, especially the darkest of us that want to keep us where we are. I say in my videos many times that every one of us plays a role in either keeping us where we are, on the wrong side of the door, in Plato's cave, in the Dark Ages, or we play a role in getting us out of this cave, getting on the other side of the door, getting on that train, on that road to truth, getting out of Plato's cave and continuing the journey and follow up with the knowledge we learn and apply it. And then we can finally live in a world that we're supposed to be living in. We didn't come to this planet to suffer. We came here to enjoy the beauty this planet has to offer. And we've been given a feedback system to help us figure out what to do. But society attacked early when we're very, very small. And now we have a malfunctioning survival mechanism. We built a tolerance to our mistakes. This is a huge problem that we've got because now we can't even trust our own experiences. So there's only one way to deal with that type of situation. Most of us have already gone past the point of no return almost when it comes to our feedback system, except there is something we can do. We can always gain back our senses. We can take a solid food vacation and get in touch with our natural instincts, where hunger should be a watering of the throat, not an all-gone morbid sensation down our belly. That's the hunger spell. If If you feel hunger down here, something's wrong. It's supposed to be up here. This should be a huge sign for you to test an idea whose time has come. And when you do, you'll get a better understanding of other bullshit that's been bombarded in your brain. One of the greatest things about a solid food vacation is your brain thinks so much clearer. Well, I got some wind blowing at me. I hope, since it's coming at me, that the wind isn't bad. But again, what happens when you do this, your brain thinks better. You realize that one of the most important pieces of the puzzle has been wrong. What we've been told on how to live, how to eat, what do we do if we get sick, has all been a lie. And if that's been a lie, what else could be a lie? Everything that takes away our responsibility is a belief that you should question. And a lot of things take away our responsibility and we don't even realize it. That's why you got to empty your cup, sit down before a fact like a little child, and be prepared to give up every preconceived notion. Best way to start the journey, take a solid food vacation. Go the distance, persevere to the end, continue on this road to truth, continue on the hero's journey, realizing that one of the main things that we can do is share the message. That's what we got to do, share the message. If enough of us can finally do that, we will reach the tipping point. And you know, my friends, what happens when we reach a tipping point. This planet will be in for a treat.